Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Amy Lawson and I am a brand photographer in Wisconsin. I share tips and tricks for photographers and other business owners on this YouTube channel, so I hope you'll stick around and subscribe. This video is all about, do I regret quitting my day job 6 months ago? And the answer is no, I do not. End of video. Ta-da! But truly, I want to share some pros and cons of the route I went for quitting my job. There is a video that I made that talks about why I quit my day job and how I did it, but this is more of like a nitty-gritty pros and cons. So you can watch that video as well, but I wanted to share more of the in-depth, and I am going to show my phone and read off my notes because I was tired of editing it out. Things I love about self-employment. Number 1, complete schedule flexibility. Little backstory, I have a photography business, and my side gig is grocery delivery, and that is what let me quit my day job in June of 2021. The grocery gig, total schedule flexibility. I can unschedule, reschedule myself as needed, so that's fantastic. The next thing is more time and mental margin to build my business. And that was crucial because my day job was 40 hours a week and not super flexible just because of the nature of the job. I didn't have time to do more than I was doing and still be a functional human being. So that margin was crucial to the growth of my business. Thirdly, being able to switch stuff up as needed. I'm the boss. I can pivot if I need to keep me from getting bored. And that was a huge motivator for me in quitting my job. And that has definitely been, I've seen that be true across my very long 6 months of experience. One thing I wish I had done differently. This is something I did want to mention. I highly recommend saving up like a slush fund before you quit your day job. Wish I had done that more than I did. So definitely when they say save up 3 to 6 months of expenses, definitely do that. Example, I am actually in quarantine right now. I tested positive for you know what. So I'm not working this week, and because we didn't have as much of a backup fund as we should have, things are going to be a little tight, which is fine. We'll be fine. But kind of wish I had more of that slush fund for peace of mind. Also, if you haven't watched my other video, my husband is employed full-time in a traditional 9-to-5, and our health insurance is through him. So that is just a little 411 on that. Pros and cons. So I use the Shipt grocery delivery app to shop and deliver people's groceries from Target and Hy-Vee and etc. Hy-Vee is a Midwest grocery store. So pros and cons of the grocery delivery gig specifically. I would say pros. Shipt pays weekly, which is really, really nice for budgeting, and that you see how much money you're going to get paid before you get paid. So that's really nice. Complete schedule flexibility, already talked about that. On average, you really do make the dollars that they say you will. So it does vary from week to week, but I do make the amount of money that Shipt advertises. Shipt specifically does support shoppers really well with a lot of information and training and resources, which I personally really love about them. Also, they pay for disability insurance. So they actually have a disability insurance. I've never had to use it, so I don't know if it's any good, but they do pay for it. You don't have to pay into a fund. You just submit it. If you get hurt on the job, like if you slip on some ice, or if, a cart runs you over or something, I don't know, something falls off a shelf and hits you on the head, you do actually get paid. They help with medical bills and partial income replacement. So that's another thing I love about Shipt. Let's talk cons, because there are some. The biggest one I would say is wear and tear on your vehicle. Any delivery gig, you're going to have this. My car has been in the shop so many times. The city I live in, the roads are not great in general. It's a lot of in-town driving. So I've had all 4 tires. So I've been doing this for 6 months. I've already had all 4 tires on my car replaced because had one tire with a bulge, so that has to be replaced. So I have all-wheel drive, and so all 4 had to be replaced. And then I had a nail in my tire another time that they had to patch. Plus more frequent oil changes because you're putting more miles. And I have a lease. So yeah, that's going to be expensive. We're actually going to buy out this car when we're done with it to avoid fees. But that's just another thing, like it's going to devalue the car very quickly. Unpredictable weekly income. I would say my paycheck varies by about $200 a week. Just depending on the orders I get and the tips I get. And related to that, you are at the mercy of people's tips. So Shipt does pay you an amount for each order, but if you were going off that alone, it would not pay enough to pay the bills. So tips are really crucial, and you don't always get people who understand that. So you're also out in all kinds of weather. And obviously, if you live in a rural area, this might not even be an available option for you. So that's also a con if you live further out. For reference, the city I live in has enough orders to keep me employed pretty much full time, and I live in a city of about 250,000-ish. Also, as with any software program, it can go down. Shipt and Instacart both use Amazon Web Services, and if you're on the internet ever at all, you know that Amazon Web Services has gone down and been glitchy. This is the later half of the last month of 2021, December. So we've had some glitches, and that has made it hard for me to get orders. And last but not least, you do have to track your mileage and set aside money for taxes, because this is completely self-employed work. It's just gig work, so it's subcontractor. You're not an employee of Shipt, so they do send you a 1099, but you have to set aside money for your income taxes. So we've been doing that. We have a percentage that we set aside. Talk to your accountant to know how much, so that you don't mess it up, because you don't want to owe the IRS a bunch of money. But that is something you do have to do. Keep track of your mileage. I use the Mile IQ app that just tracks in the background automatically, and then I have to sort through and classify my drives, which I haven't done in months, and I'm going to regret that. But you do have to go in and classify your drives, and then you can look up the guidelines on which stuff qualifies and which doesn't for that. So there's pros and cons, some tips and tricks. I hope this was helpful. Please let me know in comments, and let me know if you do gig work or if you quit your day job and did gig work in your business. I'd love to hear.